All right, so let's talk about Hideaway Beach from here. And I keep calling it Hideaway Bay, so apologies if I say that, but this is the latest in breaking news from Royal Caribbean. Let me share my screen. Well, let me talk a little bit first, and then I'll come back and share my screen. So when it comes to Hideaway Beach, I called it. You all know that there were rumors out there that Hideaway Beach was going to be complimentary. It was going to be free, just like the Oasis Lagoon, Chill Island. It was going to be free. And I never understood those rumors that it was going to be free. Royal Caribbean is not in the business these days of building anything that is complimentary at this point. If they are building anything, adding anything to their ships, it is going to come at an additional charge. And Hideaway Beach is going to be no exception to this rule whatsoever. The images of it look stunning, though, I will say. It looks very, very nice. But the prices that I'm seeing for it, there's a few cruises that are already showing it. It's scheduled to open later in 2024. I think Q1 is what they're targeting. They keep pushing it off because it's just not completed. But the prices I'm seeing right now are about $70 per person to be able to get access into Hideaway Beach. If you want one of the cabanas, they will absolutely give you a higher end experience, and we'll talk about that here in a second. You're looking at $1,500, $2,000 to be able to make that experience happen. These are what I would call introductory rates. So the CocoCay Beach Club used to be in line with those rates. But recently, we've been seeing CocoCay Beach Club at $125 per person, up to $200 per person because of the dynamic pricing. And I think that this is going to be a similar situation where we're going to look at the Hideaway Beach and we're going to see the price continue to go up. Right now, nobody's really booked into Hideaway Beach, so they've got plenty of supply, not that much demand. But as we see people's buying the packages, the price on it, it's going to go up. So I would not be surprised if in very short order, it's going to be $100 per person or higher to be able to enjoy this experience. So it is going to be a really, interesting section, I'll say. But let me share with you. I was thinking about the best way to kind of share with you Hideaway Beach information. I figured, why not just head over to RoyalCaribbean.com and share with you what Royal Caribbean is actually talking about. Hideaway Beach is going to be an adults-only experience. So when we think about adults-only experience, it means different things to different people, I'm learning. So when we come down here, the first thing that we see is all adults, all party, all day. So what I think they're trying to do in the messaging here, and I'm going to come down and kind of show you, the pictures here are just stunning. It looks like it's going to be a really, really good section. It's partly called Hideaway Beach because it's not going to be easy to find. I don't know if you're going to have to do a tram only. This right here on the left looks like a tram entrance where it can come in and circle. I don't know if they're going to have any way to walk to Hideaway Beach. It'd be interesting to see how this is built out. It is on the backside of the CocoCay dormitory where the staff are housed when they come and stay for a few months. It's on the backside of that. So I'd be surprised if they allow us to walk to this area. Funny story, the rocks over here, I walked on all these rocks years ago. Before CocoCay was, all built up, you could actually walk around the entire island. Yes, they probably had signs that said, keep out, do not enter, but it was a beautiful experience to be able to walk around the entire island, enjoy nature. It was a really, really good time. But if we come down here and look more at, the adult-only description, so this is what I'm going for to try to figure out who is this designed for. I love helping people figure out, is this a good fit for you or is it not a good fit for you? And so when we think about adults only here, again, can't stop, won't stop. So it's the party vibe. So what they're really going for here, it's a party vibe is what they're going for. Sun-soaked DJ sets, swim up bars. It's going to be, I think I saw in one place, like a Las Vegas style day club. So if you think of the Las Vegas resorts that have their pools, they'll bring in a DJ. They've got bottle service. They've got alcohol everywhere. They've got great music, people dancing. That's going to be what the expectation of Hideaway Beach is going to be. It's going to be an expectation of you are here to party, to enjoy your drink package, and have a good time. I'm not saying that that's what you're going to have to do. I'm just saying that if all this marketing that they're doing here around partying and DJ fueled mashups are coming true. It's going to be a party central vibe, which I find a little bit interesting. So the reason I say that, and we'll get into a little bit more of some of these details here, is, I feel like CocoCay is going to get a little bit segregated when it comes to ages. So I always say, who is the client profile or the guest profile that Royal Caribbean is targeting when it comes to Hideaway Beach? And I think that it's really targeting 30 and 40-year-olds to give them their own kind of spot. That is the target demographic. Can you be 85 and can you be 18 and still get into this section? Yes. But I don't think that that's really who they're appealing to in this. I think they're going for 30 to 40-year-olds because, number one, it's going to be an add-on fee of $70 to $100 per person. If you are in that 18 to 30-year-old slot, you're probably going to be a little bit more budget conscious and not really want to pay the extra money to have this experience. When you get into, let's say, the 40 plus area, that's where you're going to want to see a little bit of a calmer, more zen environment. And that's where CocoCay Beach Club is really going to come into play for people looking for a calmer, more quiet experience where they can truly enjoy nature, the water, laying out, reading a book. I don't think Hideaway Beach is going to be that. What it does have me asking, though, is what's going to happen at Oasis Lagoon? Oasis Lagoon, I have always described it the exact same way that Royal Caribbean is describing Hideaway Beach. So I'm curious what the vibe over at the Oasis Lagoon is going to be, and how is that going to change when this opens? Are they still going to have a DJ over at the Oasis Lagoon? And if so, it's going to be that 80 to 30-year-old crowd, probably with some other folks mixed in. I also feel like there might be an opportunity for them to make the Oasis Lagoon more kid-friendly. They do have the shallow end where you can walk in, but I think that, if we're making one section more adults only, it may make sense for them to offset that by making the Oasis Lagoon a little bit more kid-friendly. Don't know that that's going to happen. That is certainly me just, hypothetically speaking on this, but I'll be very curious to see how Hideaway Beach evolves. One thing that I do think is very hilarious is eats between beats. So again, the music, the party vibe continues into the food. At CocoCay Beach Club, you know that they have lobster, they've got shrimp, they've got steak. Their menu at CocoCay Beach Club is fantastic. So I do expect CocoCay Beach Club to stay at a higher premium only because they're going to need to offset the food cost that, their food over there is fantastic at CocoCay Beach Club. I love their food over there. At Hideaway Beach, though, guess what they're doing? They have finally found a way to charge us for pizza. That is right. They are going to be serving us pizza at, what do they call it? The Slice of Paradise. They are now charging us to have pizza. They joked about this, a month ago, I think? Well, their dreams have finally come true. Nobody's actually really talking about this, which I find to be very funny. But they're charging us for pizza. Everybody thought it was a joke. They came out saying, oh, we're not going to do that. Guess what they're doing? If you want to eat pizza on CocoCay, you're going to have to pay $70 to $100 a person in order to enjoy the luxury of having what I hope is a stepped up pizza from Sorrento's. But I'm all about paying for pizza. If you make it a really good pizza and I go, wow, this is something I want to pay for. And I'm hopeful that that's what's going to flow through in Hideaway Beach is really, really good pizza, because you are now paying for pizza. You're also saying, I don't want to go to the CocoCay Beach Club and get the lobster, the shrimp, the filet mignon that they've got on their menu. I'm going to opt to go for pizza and pay about $30 less. I'm not sure that the math is going to make sense if you're not looking at the experience and just looking at what you're going to be doing there. It'd be interesting how that plays out. They're also, this one, I scratched my head out a little bit. They're bringing in the Snack Shack. I don't know why. They've already got 3 different Snack Shacks. No, 2 different ones. Chill Island, and then you've got one at South Beach. This will be the 3rd Snack Shack that they're going to have. And it looks like it's going to be serving the exact same things, including the funnel cakes. I don't necessarily know why in a upper tier, higher paid area, they're putting in a complimentary food service that all of us are going to have. Granted, a lot of people swear by the funnel cakes. They have to have it every single time they go. Maybe that's why they're trying to offset it. But I feel like that's just kind of cutting corners a wee little bit to bring in a complimentary food option into a paid venue. I'm not sure how that's going to work over. Makes me think that they might not have enough pizza to go around to a certain degree, and they want to make sure people have another option should they just not have pizza coming up. The cabana life here. So the cabanas, let me show you where they're going to be. So I'm going to scroll back up. They're going to be in this section over here to the right. And the cabanas over here look amazing. So is there a better picture? I think there was somewhere. Let's see. Here we go. This one over on the right. So if you want to level up what you're doing at Hideaway Beach, this is going to be a spot for you. This is going to be true VIP treatment. And I think this will probably be the best cabana area. Arguably, depending on what you like, the overwater cabanas are really nice. I probably would really prefer this one here because you're going to have your own infinity pool in the cabana area. So it is located where others aren't going to be able to get to. It is going to be in a cabana only section. So you're going to have that VIP access to your cabana, and then you can get into the water that is going to overlook the beach and some other chairs. And it's going to have that beautiful infinity look to it, which I think is going to be really, really nice. So if you are looking for a high-end CocoCay experience, my personal opinion, if you are, everyone's over the age of 18, of course, this is going to give the overwater cabanas a run for their money. And I'll be curious to see how the prices start to differ if the overwater cabanas price out more than, the VIP treatment here at Hideaway Beach to give you the cabanas. That's going to be, I think, really, really interesting to me on how that works out. Here you can see some of the pizza, some of the Snack Shack favorites that they've got. I still love the grilled chicken at the Snack Shack, by the way. Comes on the salad, so you have to talk nice to them, but you can get a grilled chicken sandwich there, which I think is fantastic. So that is Hideaway Beach. What do you all think? So am I off my rocker on some of my assumptions or my thoughts there? Let's see what you're throwing into the comments to see, if I'm on point here. I'd love that you all keep me honest. If I'm saying something that makes absolutely no sense, you all will certainly put that in the comments. So let's take a quick look and see how everything's going there. Yeah, Pamela, I think when people heard adults only, they thought that it was going to be like a solarium, a calm area where they have birds and crickets playing in the morning. And that's not what it's going to be. It is going to be a day club party crowd. It'll be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. If you want to read a book, if you want to relax, Hideaway Beach, the adults only section, is not going to be for you. I will say that, in thinking through this, it's targeting people that probably would really like Virgin Voyages. So if you think of who Virgin Voyages is appropriate for, Hideaway Beach sounds like it's targeting the same demographic of people as Virgin Voyages. And Virgin Voyages, I'm going on it again this week, is a party crowd. It is a sophisticated party crowd. It is an older party crowd because I'd say the average age is 30s and 40s there. But it is certainly a party hardy crowd. So it'll be interesting to see how that works with Virgin. Sig Cruiser, you're going to have to let us know what you think. When did you book that? I'm curious. But let us know what you think of Hideaway Beach. And if this is all true, I'm certainly making things up right now, looking at their marketing, trying to piece together who are they appealing to? Who's going to want to go to this spot? And you know what? Everybody could be like you. They may hear that marketing and say, you know what? I'm still going to give it a try because I want to read my book. I want to have a kid-free setting that I can enjoy. And it might wind up being people like me and you who are not going to be the huge partiers. And so that vibe may very well change. So I'll be curious to see if their marketing truly pulls that crowd in, or if that crowd says, you know what? We're just going to stay over at the Oasis Lagoon, enjoy the DJ there, and they have a swim-up bar. It is not that much different of an experience from the Oasis Lagoon. That, again, is why I think the Oasis Lagoon experience could be changing a little bit. You say it's without kids, but me and my friends have a running joke, Lisa, that when parents go on vacation on a cruise ship, they often go on vacation from their kids as well. So their kids will be running amok somewhere, and they're on vacation. The parents are just doing their own thing. I would not be surprised if some parents booked Hideaway Beach Club just to get away from their kids and allow their kids to go enjoy and do something else. I'm curious if Royal is going to put any stipulations in place where if you have a minor on the ship, you will not be permitted to book Hideaway Beach. That'll be very interesting.